the hidden Duende civilization. Brought to you by DDBP Educational Enterprises, a Do Beat production. The WazaKrön, a secret civilization with roots potentially amongst the cosmos. Will we as humans ever understand where these mysterious and magical creatures came from? But what is a WazaKrön? With us today is the top expert and only expert on WazaKrön woodland creatures.
The WazaKrön woodland creatures, or the WazaKrönians, are a nomadic tribe of potentially intergalactic goblin-like beings. The term WazaKrön was coined by the homeless genius young scrubs of DDBP Productions, following a pilgrimage that was said to take place in WazaKrön-occupied territory. The name comes from the New York City homeless dialect and is a modern term, but these creatures are ancient and are known amongst much of the Latin American world as duendes. The roots of these creatures are quite ambiguous and an iceberg of mystery in itself. The WazaKrön can be found all over the Americas in the current day. They are on average 1.5 feet tall, but can range to upwards of 3 feet. They weigh on average 10 to 25 pounds. They can be found in the deepest depths of the most remote forests. They are solitary creatures.
The origin of the WazaKrönians. The most widely accepted theory, out of the many theories on where the WazaKrönians came from, is that of the New York homeless pantheon. Within the New York homeless pantheon, it is said that when the first IGNTs came to Earth, the intergalactic Nordic tribe, aka the first white people, a living experiment had escaped their grasps and was unleashed onto this earth, the WazaKrönians. The next part of the theory that is accepted by most, also sourced from the New York homeless pantheon, regards WazaKrönian migration. It is said the WazaKrönians are a fast-moving creature, faster than humans in their migratory behavior, and faster when it comes to reproducing. With that in mind, after their initial liberation from the IGNTs, whom from here on out we shall refer to as white people, as that is what their role becomes on Earth, the WazaKrönians spread all throughout the planet, finding comfort in lands where the big people were of darker skin. The first WazaKrönians came from Europe, where a small percentage remained there under the radar until the early Middle Ages, when they were forced out by European crusader states, whom now at this time had no prior knowledge that the WazaKrönians were a creation made by the first forefathers of their race. Weakened from conflict with the Europeans and the devastating series of gnome wars that befell the WazaKrönians in Europe, they had no choice but to follow the migration paths of their ancestors, whom the descendants of resided across the ocean from the Euro-WazaKrönians. A large vessel was crafted by the European WazaKrönians on which they traversed the Atlantic Ocean with, searching for their long-lost brothers and the idea of freedom in lands free from the white devil. No longer would the WazaKrönians live under the nose of their oppressors, for the time being at least. WazaKröns in the Americas. Once the WazaKrönians from Europe landed in the Americas, they immediately set out to locate their long-lost brethren. Nobody knows how long it took for the WazaKrönians to reunite, but we know they did. And from this time on, we know that WazaKrön woodland creatures were an exclusive creature to the Americas. Turning back the clock to a time where WazaKrönians were widespread and scattered amongst the world. Shortly after their escape from the IGNTs, there was a large band of WazaKrönians who settled in Africa. Sadly, they, along with many other groups of WazaKrönians who settled in places other than the Americas and Europe, went extinct in their newfound habitats by means of human conflict or too harsh of a climate. The WazaKrönians lived in a state of relative peace with the Native Americans. Peace was more common than fighting between the two groups, but when the Europeans made landfall in the Americas in the 1400s, the era of WazaKrön peace was over. During the first handful of decades of European colonization in the Americas, it was common for WazaKrönians to join or instigate skirmishes with white newcomers. As the scourges of disease slowly began to sweep the lands, the WazaKrönians realized this was a fight that could not be won and fled to the deepest depths of the North and South American wilderness, where they remained until the modern day, their numbers dwindling and their existence forgotten to the wider world. The WazaKrön become nothing more than folklore in South America in the form of the Duende. And it wasn't until recently when the hobos from DDBP, Otto Stromboli, and young Scruggs successfully made the first peaceful white on WazaKrönian contact. The contact between the two groups spawned numerous songs and lyrics about the adventure to the WazaKrönian village and has become a staple of homeless culture and achievement. Here are some statements from an interview with the documentary's producer and key component to our knowledge of the WazaKrönians, young Scruggs of Doo-Doo Beat Productions.
First of all, I have to say it's an honor to have you here, Mr. Scruggs. Is that camera off? Would you like it to be? Yeah. Okay, sorry, we'll turn that off. Cut camera 2. What about camera 1? Cut camera 1! Camera 1 is shut off. Alright. Are you sure? Yes, sir. Why don't you tell us what you know about the WazaKrönians, because you claim to have been in contact with them. Give us some of your knowledge. Okay, I'll give you a little bit of my knowledge. Let me think where to begin. Well, some years back, Otto and I, we went on a pilgrimage somewhere out west. I can't remember exactly where. Might have been, it was one of them states that border that gay country that touches us. You know what I'm saying? Canada? We were gone there, and apparently, I speak WazaKrön now because of that experience. Are you gonna pick up the phone? By the way, apparently they don't do so well with outsiders, you know what I'm saying? So we gone there, we going through the jungle. Otto was like looking at the ground. Excuse me, hold up. Otto was like looking at the ground, and there was these holes with the stick coming at it, and he was like, watch out, there was punching stick traps. And I'm like, nah. And they're size for humans, but they were built by WazaKrön. And this little creature, this other homeless guy that Otto had with us, he was like, oh, okay, if you're not gonna watch for the traps, then you go watch him go through it. And he said the other homeless guy to go through the trap, he got stuck and died. He got stuck in the trap and he died. But what was I talking about? The punchy sticks? Yeah, that's right. What's that noise?
That's your phone. It's been ringing.
Who is it?
It's your phone.
Hey!
It's your phone!
I can't work under these conditions.
There's nothing. Just let's get back to the interview.
Okay. I'll get back to it. We had gone there, and they don't do well with outsiders, especially outsiders with the skin complexion of Otto and I. But we went there, and Otto Otto found one of them, and he handed him his crack pipe, because, I don't know, that's how you give goodwill, I guess, in New York City. And he put his hands out, and the crack pipe was in his hands, and this huge rock put it into the pipe, because Otto's pipe is huge. Well, double entendre. But he gave it to this little green fucker, and the little WazaKrön, he went like, and then he turned around, or he left the pipe there. He left the pipe and turned around, and then came back with like 10 of his friends, and they were carrying this huge purple stone, and we found out that is a Waza rock, or at least that's what we call it, but I don't know what they call it, but that's what it translates to in homeless, you know what I'm saying? They brought out this huge purple stone, and we smoked it with them. We didn't exchange like a culture exchange. We gave him our crack rock, and when we received the, hold on, I gotta puke a little bit.
What? Wow. Oh my God.
In this documentary, we have explored the supposed history of the WazaKrön woodland creatures, some of the most elusive creatures on the planet, from their inception on this planet to the reason for their isolationist ways. Much is still unknown about them, and we hope to discover more, but for the time being, this is the most complete history of the WazaKrönians to date. A word of thanks for all those who stuck their necks out to spread the truth. Doo Beat Productions on Spotify.